Hi, my name is Kevin Sokolowski, and I am with Grouparchitect. I will be presenting to the board this third round presentation of the Proctor Willows Phase 2 multifamily mixed-use project. I want to start with a quick recap of the board's comments from the second DRB meeting. Overall, we received positive comments. The board liked the overall direction and thought we had successfully addressed the concerns from the first meeting. But they had a few additional areas they wanted to see some refinement. These were focused on the wall and signage design at the corner entry, the visual representation of the landscape design, and the modulation of the west facade. The next few slides indicate the changes that we made in response to the board's comments. These include providing a series of rendered views that more realistically express the landscape design and materiality of the building itself. We also looked at redesigning the corner entry sign. We did this while working with the City Code Enforcement Officer in charge of monument sign design and requirements. Monument signs fall under a separate permitting process, which has specific requirements and limitations. During this process, we designed a new sign concept which integrates into the landscape walls, highlighting the corner entry. As we move around to the west elevation, we can see the changes that were made to the modulation. We started by reorganizing the unit layout, which allowed us to extend the undulating element from the north elevation around the corner and further down the west facade. Then, we increased the depth of the material change between the undulating mass and the dark gray box from 6 inches to 12 inches. Creating a stronger shadow line at the edge of the building. We were required to make a few minor changes to the overall landscape plan as a response to prep meeting comments. These mostly had to deal with the vehicular entry points and maintaining clear visual connections to the street. The next few slides show images of both the current model and what was presented at the last meeting. As you can see, we added some additional modulation along the east elevation to further break down the roof line. No major changes were made to the south elevation or courtyard areas. One item I do want to mention is concerning the rooftop amenity space. We have been working with the Redmond Fire and Building departments, and some issues have come up regarding the viability of the space based on current building code requirements. We are hoping that we ultimately will be allowed to move forward with the rooftop amenity as shown in the earlier model, but wanted to show the board both options in case that does not happen. The perspective looking down northeast 124th Street provides a good view of the changes that were made to the west elevation and how we extended the massing along the north elevation around the corner, integrating it into the western facade. And finally, a close-up view of the residential entry. The elevation sheets again indicate both the current design and what was presented at the last meeting, along with material notes and callouts. We again wanted to point out the additional modulation that was incorporated into the revised east elevation. The north elevation is pretty much the same as what was presented in the last meeting. The west elevation, and finally the interior court elevations. The design details section of the packet now contains some updated renderings and also a lot of the images from the previous presentation in areas that did not change. The final image of the detailed design sheets is that of the rooftop amenity space. Again, if we are able to move forward with it, we will be moving forward with this design, and hopefully we can get that resolved and we'll be able to work it into the project. Within the attached PDF file, you'll find in the appendix all the material that was provided during the first 2 meetings, along with some additional information for your own reference if you would like to go back and review. I want to thank you again for your time and hope you have a nice day. Thanks again. Bye.